know, I used to think my daughter ate every and anything. That was up until the point where I started to feed her healthier. I realized that she was a picky eater, just like all the other kids. She didn't want to eat none of her fruits and none of her vegetables. So my biggest task was, how do I get her to eat more vegetables? And people look at her eating vegetables now and it's like, oh my God, I wish my kid would eat vegetables like yours. But she has not always ate all her vegetables. So let's dive into some of the tips that I've used to help my daughter eat more vegetables. Before we get started though, I do want to let you know, as I always do, that I am not a pediatrician or a doctor. I am a registered nurse. So I would recommend, before you start your child on any plan, that you take them to see your pediatrician to check them out to make sure everything is okay. Let's battle the issue with drinking water. So if your child won't drink water, there's just a couple of things that you can do to get them to drink more of the water. You can add fruits to it. You can add certain herbs to it, like you can do something minty. I myself have used like flavored waters sold at many different stores. Just look for the ones that are aspartame free, zero sugar, zero carb, zero everything. Just give a little flavor to the water. The kids usually enjoy that and they can't tell a difference. You can also have them pick out their special water cup or their water bottles or a special twirly straws to help them to want to drink more. If your child is sitting at the table and is taking one bite of their food and saying, I'm full, I don't want any more. Yeah, so the one thing that I would do for that is to decrease the amount of snacking that they do in between their meals. You have to make mealtime schedules. You have your schedule of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your schedule of snacks. Typically, kids do well with about 2 snacks, one in between breakfast and lunch, and one in between lunch and dinner, to help their appetite. They do very well with schedules and routines. So stick to a schedule for them and decrease the amount of sugary drinks that they drink in between their meals. Offer water between their meals so that at meal times they're a little bit more hungrier than normal if they're snacking all day. All right, so the biggest point, your child won't eat vegetables. What do? There are, I kid you not, a ton of things that I've tried to get my child to eat vegetables. A few have worked, a few have not. I'm just gonna give them all to you, and then you can pick and choose to see which one works better for you, and then you can let me know. So the very first thing I did was start my child out with the fruit and vegetable that she already liked. I mean, that was the easiest route. I offered more of those vegetables and stuff. Like Melanie only liked green beans, and so I gave her green beans and I gave her apple and grapes because those were the only things that she liked in the beginning. Second point, you can attempt to sneak your vegetables into foods that your kids already love, and even ones that you can create. So if your child loves to eat macaroni and cheese, you can chop up your vegetables and put them in there. If you're concerned about it being too big, and I have done this before, I toss it in the processor or chop it up really small and put it into their food. So I have put broccoli into chicken nuggets. I have put fruits and vegetables, like zucchini. I've used that instead of pasta. When you're making lasagna, I've made fruit smoothies with ice, but instead of just the fruits, I add some kale or some spinach to it and mix that up. When I scramble eggs, I would put some onions and sweet peppers and stuff in it. There are so many ways that you can sneak vegetables into the foods that you cook on a daily basis that your kids already love, to get them to eat more of those vegetables. And that will also help for your kids that will eat the vegetable and gag, because they wouldn't be able to tell that it's in there, especially if you do a really good job disguising. Of course, this is while you teach them slowly to start eating more vegetables. Another thing that you can do for the kids is to let them, if you have a garden, that'll be perfect. You can plant the fruits and vegetables with your kid. You can let them pick it, and you can let them help you prepare it. Don't have a garden? Fine. Take them to the grocery stores with you. Let them pick out fruits and vegetables with you. That would encourage them more to be more prone to eating it. And then let them cook with you. I can't tell you how many meals Melanie has cooked with me, and kids love to eat what they cook. I am telling you. So let them be a part of the process in preparing those foods. And then, of course, praise them for doing so. So another way to get your kids to start eating vegetables, like even if they deny their vegetables, you want to serve it with every meal. A study I've read said that it takes offering kids up to 12 times these vegetables before they even try to taste it. So keep offering those, and after a while, because I've even seen this with Melanie, after a while of offering certain vegetables, you'll start to see them taste it, and then they are so happy when they taste it, because I've heard Melanie celebrated herself. Mommy, I tasted this, and I'm like, yay, finally. So that's really great. Very important to remember, if you're gonna offer new fruits and vegetables, you want to do so in small portions. What you don't want to do if your child is just starting to eat broccoli is to offer a big chunk of it. Like, it's overwhelming to them, and it almost makes them don't want to eat it. So if you're offering them for the first time, you want to offer in very small portions at first, and then along with the small portions, you want to make sure that you offer it to them first. Like, you can even do a segment offering. Like, if your child is hungry, offer vegetables first, then you can offer your meats, then you can offer your starches if that works for you. And sometimes offering new foods first definitely helps. So, and with that, you want to make sure you respect your child's appetite and not wanting to have to force them to eat when they say they're full, because that, it kind of deters our objective here. So if you offer the vegetables first, then their meats, then you can be sure, like, when they say I'm full, they really mean that they're full, and not like eat all your meats, all your starch, and then get to the vegetables. And so they can truly be full when they're saying, Mommy, I'm full. So they're more prone to eat their vegetables if they're given first. If you're concerned with your child is a texture issue, try changing the texture. I know sometimes some things can be squishy, so in opposed to that, you can, like zucchini, you can chop it up in little circles, stick them on a bacon rack with some olive oil and some salt and pepper, put it in the oven and bake it. They come out a little crunchy. You could do the same thing with kale. You can put cheese on top of it and bake it. That kind of helps change the texture of the food to help the kids digest it more. Very important too, you want to make sure that you make these fruits and vegetables that you're offering these kids super yummy. And there are a few things that you can do. You can make sure it's seasoned properly. You can add cheese and bake on top. You can offer your vegetables with hummus or yogurt dressing. Anything to make it good for those kids. I mean, even with yourself, you want to make sure your food is good. So definitely, for sure, you want to make sure that it's good for those little babies. Another thing that I have found that has been super helpful for me is to get creative with it. You can make animals with your fruits and vegetables. You can make bugs. You can make monsters. You can make faces. And the fun part is too that you can let the kids help you do this, and they enjoy it. They enjoy eating the bugs that they create, or eating the monster before it eats my rose. And I'll show you a picture of what I mean here. But there's so many things that you can do to get creative. Where do you find your creative idea if you're not creative? Google. Google has so many important, interesting things that you can find up there, like this one. How cool is that? Another important point that I have found that is so funny to me, and I think it works on most kids, is renaming the food. I remember making a lettuce burger for Melanie, and she was like, I don't want to eat lettuce on my burger, Mommy. And all I did is I put some eyes and a nose on it and shape my strawberry like a rose and stick it in the middle and cut the sandwich open, and all of a sudden it becomes a turkey monster that's trying to eat my rose. And she was like, I want to get that turkey before it eat my rose. So it's all about getting creative with the kids and renaming things. You can do that Popeye spinach, or that Hulk broccoli, or rainbow eggs, which we've made before with different colored vegetables to make it pretty. Or you can even use food coloring to make things more appealing and change it up. Kids love it. Just tweak it, get creative for those babies. They will definitely try new things, in my opinion. One of my all-time favorite things that I like to do is playing games at the dinner table. One of the first times that I recognized that my own daughter ate broccoli, we were at the table and we were playing this game where Mommy and Brian hates the way broccoli tastes, but we had to eat it if Melanie ate one. And she was like, I'm gonna eat it because I wanna see you eat it and you don't like it. And so she ate the broccoli and she was like, ha ha, no, you have to eat it. So then Brian would be like, oh, I hate the way this broccoli tastes. And then she would kill herself laughing. And then she was like, I'm gonna eat another one. So you have to do it. And she'll do it again. And the game went on until she ate all her vegetables. So that was like an awesome game to play. You can play Name That Food. You can play different kind of games, or I bet you can't. Reverse psychology works well on kids. Like, I bet you can't eat all that, or I bet you can't eat that and that, you know, and they love the challenge. They'll definitely do it. Or competing with daddy. I bet you can't eat all your vegetables before daddy gets to it, you know, stuff like that. So it's so fun to play these little games with these kids, or even sing songs. Oh my God, we have sing so many songs to get my daughter to eat her vegetables. Like as simple as the Baby Shark song. You can sing it to get them to eat their vegetables. It totally works. Tweak it for the kids. Another thing you can do for these kids to get them to eat vegetables is to make a reward chart. Like, you can have a reward chart that they can move little tabs to every time they eat their vegetables. And so at the end of a certain amount of vegetables that they've eaten for the week, you can give them a reward. Just make sure that those rewards are not food. You never want to give food as a reward. Same thing goes for not saying eat all your vegetables and then you can have dessert, because it makes it in their mind that dessert is the good food, and so we have to get through the bad to get to the good, and you never want to make that relation with food. So those little reward charts are good, and you always want to make sure you celebrate the heck out of your kids for eating their vegetables. They love it. They love to achieve things. So do that. You can also try a rule with them. Try before deny. And I use that rule as, you can try a certain thing. You can take a bite off of it, and then if you don't like it, then we'll talk about it at that point. Then you can eat the things that you do like, but I at least want you to try it first. That's a good rule. When you are going to give the kids vegetables, you want to make sure that you offer vegetables in a way, and you can apply this to anything. You offer it in a way that it's not going to cost a fight. Like, you don't want to say, do you want some broccoli? Because of course, as a child, if they don't like their vegetables, they're going to be like, heck no. So what you can do instead is say, do you want broccoli or do you want cauliflower? Do you want an apple or do you want a banana? So you give them choices so they can choose, not saying, do you want some fruits, and giving them the option to say no. So you never want to do that. You can also educate your kids about what these vegetables do for them. You can talk about how carrots is good for your eyes, or your vegetables is good for your immune system, and it makes you big and strong, just like Popeye. So try that tactic. Also, parents, you never want to be an on-demand chef. So if your child is saying, I don't want my vegetable, I want something else, and you get up and make them something else, they will expect that. So you never want to be that kind of person to be an on-demand chef, because they know that you will get up and go make something else, then they will always say, no, I don't want that, Mom. I want my favorite food. So you can go make it. Don't do that. It'll discourage them from trying to eat the new things while they're hungry. You also want to make sure that you lead by example. You eat your fruits and vegetables so the kids can be encouraged to eat theirs. Serve everybody the same thing at the table, like not one person eating one thing and somebody else eating another. Also want to offer a balanced meal. Have your fruits and vegetables to be half of your plate, and then have your protein and your whole grain to be the other half of the plate. I'm a firm believer in color. I love a pretty plate. I think that sight appeal is everything when it comes to these kids. You have to make your food appealing. The more appealing it is to the eyes and the smell, like the kids will probably be more prone to eat the food. Same goes for you as adults. If it looks good and it smells good, what's your assumption? That it's good. So put a little effort into the food when you're trying to get your kids to eat new food, especially healthy ones, right? And I also want to tell you, enjoy family time. Turn off the TV. Once you can enjoy each other, and two, to get rid of that distraction at the dinner table when you're trying to get your kids to focus on eating. Because that's a very important point. And the last point that I want to share with you guys that I think is the most important point of all, know when to ask for help. What you don't want to do is to battle with your child so long with these eating difficulties that they're having, and not finding a solution for it, and it's affecting their growth and their development. So if you ever get to that point where you feel like their eating habits or lack thereof is affecting their growth and development, then you definitely want to seek some professional help for these babies, because we can only do so much. We can try everything we can, but if it's not working, it's time to ask for some help. All right, guys, that's all I have for you for today. I hope it helps somebody, because it certainly has helped me. Now, for other topics, if you want to hear about other certain topic, just message and let me know. I will try. You can write it down in the comment section. Yeah, comment it and let me know what topic you want to hear about next, and I'll do my best to bring it to you next week. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. And be good to those kids.